Okay. Now we continue our lecture from where we have stopped. We were talking about the possible number of nodes in a tree. So you can calculate the possible number of nodes in a tree. I've explained to you that how you can calculate it. So that is there are two factors which are important. One is called the branching factor, and the second is called the depth of a tree. So let's suppose if the branching factor is 5 and the depth is 100, so you can realize that great number of nodes will be generated. Then the state space is a huge state space. And let's suppose if the depth is 1000 and branching factor is 10, you can realize the state space. In the same manner, we can calculate the approximate number of nodes. Okay, ji. Now, just want to explain you the concept of state and node. There are two important terms which normally we use whenever we talk about a state. State is a representation of any physical configuration that is called state. For example, if I go to the whiteboard, I can say, for example, जैसे हमने we talked about the vacuum world problem. So in the vacuum world problem, we said that agent is in A and there is dirt. So that is what? That is a node or a tree, node or a state. Now that is called state. Why? Because it describes the specification of a given particular state. Physical representation बता रहा है कि vacuum world vacuum A में है और there is dirt. So that we don't know from where we have acquired it. इससे previous state क्या थी? इसकी parent state क्या थी? We don't know. What are the child states? We don't know. And in a tree structure where that state lies, वो हमें पता नहीं है. तो state एक representation है, ठीक है? That's it. चाहे मैंने अभी vacuum world की example दी थी. Now let's take an example of Wumpus world, where we say that at 1-1 there is no smell, there is no breeze, and there is no glitter. No glitter. Now this is what? This is a state because it represents the physical configuration. That's it. We don't know from where we have acquired it. What was the previous? What was the parent state? What is the child? What is the depth? We don't know. We don't have the idea about it. That is why we call it what? We call it state. But when we talk about node, now you can see that is the node. Whenever we are talking about a node, we are talking about a data structure. And we are talking about a tree data structure. So in the tree data structure, it is important to know where that node is, what is the depth. Let's suppose it is at the depth 6, and what is the parent? Who is the parent of this node? Parent node kaun si hai? What action has been taken to reach out to this particular state? So all these things becomes relevant while we talk about node. But when we talk about a state like this, we don't know. If we just talk about only this, not this one. So this is just representing a state that in an 8-number problem, the numbers are located like this. Now, what was the previous state? What is the next state? We don't know. What is the level of this? We don't know. That is why it is called state. But if it is represented in a tree diagram, then it will be like this, where we have that information. That is the concept of state and node. Now, in a tree search, there are two things which we will do. Number one, we will generate a tree. We perform a goal test as we discussed, and of course, we have to expand the tree as well. ये नहीं हो सकता ना कि मैं जो है ना एक्सप्लोर करूं, एक्सप्लोर करने के बाद गोल टेस्ट परफॉर्म करने के बाद रुक जाऊंगा, नहीं, बल्कि क्या करना है? We have to expand the tree. So for that purpose, we have to go for expand function, and that expand function is basically dependent on another function which we will use over here is called successor function. What is the purpose of successor function? The purpose of successor function is to generate the successors. So successor function generates the successors. ठीक है, जो भी नोड जिस नोड पर आप हैं उससे ये सक्सेसर्स को जनरेट करता है. When successor function will generate the successors, you will get the set of action state pairs. क्या मिलेगा आपको? You will get the set of action state pairs. What is meant by set? Set जानते हैं सब लोग ना. Set का मतलब होता है set के members हैं. Set start with the curly bracket. Set of all possible action state pairs. So let's suppose consider the same problem which we were discussing in this chapter. That was regarding Romania. We started with arid. So what we did from arid we move to gerund. That describes an action that we opted to move from arid to gerund. That is an action. From where we reached to gerund. That is the state where we reached. That is a pair. That is the one pair we have. If you apply this pair, you will get gerund, the next successor, comma. Similarly, from arid, move to Sibui, comma, you reached out to Sibui, another pair. ठीक है? And same from arid, move to Oradia, and you reach to Oradia. This will not end up over here because these are the successors which are generated from arid, and of course now from gerund, now from Sibui, now from Oradia. So your successor function will always generate nodes from the leaf nodes in that manner. Dot 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 dot, and then you can close it. So it will generate all the action state pairs. And you can apply the same principle everywhere. For example, in this case, a comma dirt. Now your action will decide that how you will generate the next state. So if I do the same thing over here, what is the action? You will do the clean. The agent is in A and there is a dirt. So what you will do? The action is clean. So action is, sorry, I will make a pair, clean, comma. जब clean कर दिया तो कौन सी state में चले गए? अब आप चले गए A with no dirt. That is the state you have. ठीक है? That is the first pair you have. Then you can, next section will describe the next state, dot dot dot. That is the way. Similarly here, in this problem, if this is, let's suppose if this is the initial state, no smell, no breeze, no glitter, what is the action? Your action might be move to 1, 2, and where you reached to 1, 2. That is the state you reached, comma. Then of course you will with new information you will generate new successors based on the information you have, and in that way you can generate the successors. So in any given problem you have to apply the successor function. That successor function will help you to generate the successors from that particular node, and in that way you can generate the tree. So I will move back to the presentation. So that is we were discussing over here. So expansion for each node in result in successor function problem given state. Obviously it will generate the new node, the parent node, the action and the state, and you will calculate the path cost. In all these problems you have to generate the path cost. And what is a path cost? Again I switch to the whiteboard. So clear. Okay. So what is the path cost? path cost is the accumulative function of step cost. Step cost. ओके, पाथ कॉस्ट क्या होती है? स्टेप कॉस्ट को ऐड करते चले जाएं. व्हाट इज अ स्टेप कॉस्ट? स्टेप कॉस्ट is reaching from one node to, या parent node to the child node कर लो, चलो parent node to the child node. That is what, that is step cost. So if you want to see the diagram here, you can understand it. From Arid to Zerend, that 75 is what? That is represented as the step cost. From Zerend to Radia, that will be 71 as the step cost. If you want to calculate from Arid to Radia, then it will be 75 plus 71. So in the path cost is the sum of all the step cost, is an accumulative step cost. कहाँ तक की? जहां तक कि आप सोल्यूशन को इवेल्युएट कर रहे हैं, जो आपका टारगेट स्टेट है. ठीक है. So whatever the target stated, let's suppose the target state is Bucharest. That is the node which we want to search. So we'll move on to the algorithms and always calculate the path cost. That is the concept of this. Now I switch back to the slides. You can see over here, that is the path cost. Path cost is what? This plus these given path cost plus the step cost. Every time you have the path cost and you add the step cost. And what you do, you add the depth level, because every time you generate the leaf node, so you have to increase the depth. How long you will do this? Either you will get a solution or a failure. तो जब तक कि आप काम करते रहोगे, कब तक करते रहोगे? Let's suppose यहाँ सक्सेसर जनरेट हो गए, अब सक्सेसर के बाद मजीद सक्सेसर नहीं है, कोई सक्सेसर, तो यहाँ रुक जाएंगे हम, यहाँ फेलियर आ गया, इसका मतलब है हमें नोड नहीं मिली. या फिर the other option is that you might get a solution. So if you get a solution, then you will stop over there. That is the way in which these functions will be executed, the expansion function and the tree search function. I hope ये बात समझ में आ गई है. Please respond to me so that I can move on. I will see your responses. Okay. Azim is saying, okay. All others, I hope you understood the concept and go through in detail from your book as well. So get prepared with the topic. So, okay. Now we will move toward the next slide. Now this slide is regarding the evaluation of various strategies. So from the next slides onward, we will discuss the various algorithms. But it is important to know that whenever you apply a certain strategy or an algorithm, you have to evaluate it, that whether the given strategy or the algorithm has these characteristics or not. So there are 4 important dimensions or characteristics which are important in case of evaluating any particular strategy. So what are these 4? Number one is called completeness. Completeness refers to is a property. Normally you discuss this in various, maybe in the data structure lectures. Completeness refers to a property which refers to that if you apply a particular algorithm or a strategy and it is sure that you always get a solution. So you apply a strategy and you get a solution. If your strategy makes sure that wherever you apply that particular strategy and if solution is there, you can find the solution. That is called completeness. That property is called completeness. It means your algorithm or strategy will not miss the solution. Hasib, if you want to say something. Hasib, you raised hand. You want to say something? ओके, नो रिस्पॉन्स, सो आई मूव ऑन। कंप्लीटनेस क्लियर हो गया कि हम जो है ना सर्च करने जा रहे हैं और किसी भी एल्गोरिदम या स्ट्रेटजी को लगा रहे हैं और जो सोल्यूशन है वो एग्जिस्ट करता है और मेरी स्ट्रेटजी मेक श्योर करती है कि वो सोल्यूशन को फाइंड आउट कर ले, तो इसका मतलब है कि वो कंप्लीट है। Optimality refers to the least cost solution, that your algorithm or a strategy makes sure that whatever the solution you achieve, that always be optimal. तो जो solution मिलेगा वो हमेशा क्या होगा, optimal होगा। फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं वापस डायग्राम पे चला जाता हूँ, इस डायग्राम को देखें, मेरी स्टार्टिंग नोड एरिड है, मेरी गोल्ड नोड टारगेट नोड है बुखारेस्ट है। तो जब मैं ये पाथ बनाऊंगा तो मुझे बहुत सारे पाथ मिलेंगे ना। तो अब ये देखना है कि जो मेरी स्ट्रैटेजी या एल्गोरिदम मुझे पाथ रिजल्ट कर रहा है, क्या वो जो मेरा रिजल्टेंट पाथ है या जो मेरा सोल्यूशन पाथ है, is that optimal or not, is that least cost or not? So we have discussed about path cost. So in that case, path cost will help us to determine that whether the solution is optimal or not. So if your algorithm always gives you the optimal solution, then you can say that the strategy is optimal or the algorithm is optimal. Third property or dimension is related to time complexity. Time complexity refers to number of nodes generated, that we have done in the previous session. That how it can be done? It can be done by using the branching factor and the depth. So if you have an idea about the branching factor and the depth, you can calculate the time complexity, and we did this in the previous session, and we have developed a polynomial. And you people know that whenever there is a polynomial, whenever we try to sum the polynomial expression, we use the big O notation. So please refer back to your studies and see what is meant by big O notation, how a polynomial expression can be summed up. Then the last property which is related to it, which is important to know, is called the space complexity. Space complexity is basically referred to how many nodes you may have in the memory. Let's suppose you generated 100 nodes. Is there a need to keep all those 100 nodes in the memory, or your algorithm allows you to have less number of nodes in the memory? Some algorithm, when we will proceed, you will see that some algorithm basically keeps all the nodes in the memory, and there are some algorithms in which we keep not all these states in the memory. We will keep few states in the memory, and you can realize that this is a big problem, because if you are solving a problem where you have millions of nodes, and if you want to have all those nodes in the memory at the same time, then obviously it will take much more time, and जो हमारी जो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग है उस पे प्रॉब्लम आएगी। तो बेहतर ये होता है कि लेस नंबर ऑफ नोड्स होंगी अगर मेमोरी में, तो ज़्यादा क्विकली हम रीच आउट कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। तो हमारी प्रोसेसिंग बेहतर हो जाती है एल्गोरिदम की। So there are 4 dimensions now which we have discussed: completeness, optimality, time complexity, and space complexity. So whenever we discuss any algorithm from now on, we will also see that on the basis of these 3-4 properties, how our strategy or algorithm works. So there are 5 algorithms which are discussed under uninformed search strategies topic. The first one is called the breadth first search. Second is uniform cost search. Third is depth first search. Fourth is depth limited search. And the last one is iterative deepening search. So these are 5 search strategies which will be discussed in in this topic, or in chapter number 3, that is uninformed search strategies. Now, how breadth first search executes, just keep few things in your mind. Number one, how the nodes will be expanded. So in this breadth first search strategy, we always expand the shallowest unexpanded node. क्या कह रहा हूँ? Shallowest unexpanded node. What is meant by shallowest? Shallowest means the nodes which are nearer to the nodes from where we have expanded the tree. For example, we start expanding tree from A. तो shallowest nodes मेरी कौन सी हैं? Shallowest ये कहलाएंगी. इसकी shallowest कौन सी हैं? वो ये होंगी. और फिर इसके नीचे जो होंगी वो इससे shallowest होंगी. ठीक है? So always expand the shallowest unexpanded nodes. There are two terminologies normally we use over here. One is called expansion and one is called exploration. So expanding means that you applied the successor function, you get the new nodes. And when you talk about exploration or further expanding, then it means which node you will select. For example, from A, the two nodes which are being generated are B and C. But now, according to the strategy, which node will be expanded first? That is the other problem. And these two terminologies will be used to explain this concept. So here, always remember that in a BFS or breadth first search, the frontier is always a FIFO queue. Why? FIFO, as you know, it means first in, first out. So frontier हमेशा FIFO क्यों है? नहीं A के बाद B पहले आया था तो B पहले जाएगा, ठीक है? फिर C पहले आया था तो C पहले एक्सप्लोर होगा. That is, new successors always go at the end. वो जितने successors भी आएंगे जो बाद में आए हैं वो हमेशा बाद में ही होंगे, ठीक है? तो FIFO क्यू का जो प्रिंसिपल है वो याद रखिएगा. That is being used in breadth first search. So from A we will move to B. From B the two nodes will be generated and those two nodes are the D and E. And then in the next step we have the nodes F and G. So now A is explored, then B is explored, then C is explored. Now you can see that it is a turn of D to be explored. So the diagram is not completed over here, but you can now see that in the next step the D will be explored, then E will be explored, then F and then G. Following the same principle, we have that frontier is always a FIFO queue and the successors go at the end. That is the concept of breadth first search. So in a breadth first search, we have some issues because we are going breadth wise, and since it is a blind search, we don't know where the solution is. The solution might be here, 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 or here. We don't know. And I pointed out this thing to you that in these type of problems, the solution is always a sequence of state from the initial state to the solution state. So since we don't know where the solution is, so we have to keep all the states in the memory because we need a path cost. So we need a path. So we don't know where the solution is. तो ये नहीं हो सकता कि मैं इन states को निकाल दूं. अगर मैं इन states को निकाल दूंगा तो फिर मुझे path नहीं मिलेगा. Because in all of these problems, in the uninformed search strategies, the solution is always a path, or solution is always a sequence of states from the starting node till the target node. So one of the disadvantage of breadth first search strategy is that here we have to keep all these states in the memory. Okay? So obviously when you keep all these states in the memory, it takes time. Now in terms of all those four dimensions, if you see the breadth or if you analyze the breadth first search, number one, we talked about completeness. Yes, it is generally complete. Whenever you have a solution, you will find out the solution. Only one condition is there in the bracket, that if B is finite. Normally B is finite. It can be large, but it is finite. And how you will compute the number of nodes? So you will compute the number of nodes by by a polynomial expression, the same expression I have represented on the whiteboard. 1 plus b square plus b cube plus dash blah blah blah. So this is what how you can compute the possible number of nodes. And since it is a polynomial expression, so that is why you represent this is with a big O notation. That O is called big O, b raised to the power d. So these are the possible number of nodes which are generated while we are talking about breadth first search strategy. Now, space, as I discussed earlier, that as far as the space complexity is concerned, in BFS, in a breadth first search, we have to keep all the nodes in the memory. You can see in the bracket, keep every node in the memory. It means that whatever the nodes have been generated, that is b raised to the power d, all that nodes have to be put it in the memory. That is why we said that all nodes will be in the memory in when you apply breadth first search. Now, fourth dimension is regarding the optimality. Now, we want to see that whether the breadth first search always give you an optimal solution. The answer is generally it is not optimal. Generally, when you apply the BFS, it will not it will give you a solution, but generally it will not give you an optimal solution. Only in one case it always gives you an optimal solution. Whenever you are solving problems where path cost is constant, if the path cost is constant, then you will get the optimal solution. But if the path cost is varying, then you will not get the optimal solution. As you have seen the problem of Romania. In the problem of Romania, the distance from one city to the other cities are not constant. There you have seen that there are various distances. Somewhere we have 72 miles, somewhere we have 90 miles, so on and so forth. The step cost is not equal. But in problems where the step cost is equal and you apply the breadth first search, it will give you the optimal solution. It will give you the optimal solution. For example, I'll show you. Okay, just see this problem. This is 8 number problem where if you want to here the step cost is always 1 because you have to move from one state to another. So step cost is always equal. So when you want to apply the BFS on this, it will give you an optimal solution. But when you apply BFS on the Romania problem, then it will not give you an optimal solution. Then there is another algorithm which is called uniform cost search, which is called uniform cost search. The uniform cost search works on the principle of the cheapest unexpended node. Cheapest unexpended node. It means that whenever it works like a breadth first search, but when we talked about expansion, just see over here the arid problem. Okay, in this expansion, there we move to Sibui and then Timisoara and then Zarin. But in the uniform cost search, we will see that जो जिसका डिस्टेंस एरिड से कम है उसको हम पहले ले लेंगे, जिसका डिस्टेंस एरिड से ज्यादा है उसको बाद में एक्सप्लोर करेंगे और फिर उससे बाद में करेंगे. ऐसे ही होंगी तीनों नोड्स. लेकिन यूनिफॉर्म कॉस्ट सर्च में हम क्या करते हैं? यूनिफॉर्म कॉस्ट सर्च में sorry, I'll go back. Okay, in uniform cost search we always expand the cheapest unexpended node. Cheapest means the node which is at the less distance from the initial node. Okay, so in that way you can say for the sake of the implementation it will form a priority queue because it will form a priority बन गई ना. आपने कहा यार ये सबसे करीब है, इसको पहले हम इसको एक्सप्लोर करेंगे. So it means that you have basically created a priority queue, or that is ordered by पाथ कॉस्ट, जो आपकी पाथ कॉस्ट है उससे आपने इसको ऑर्डर कर लिया। अब इसमें देखते हैं कि ये यूनिफॉर्म कॉस्ट सर्च और ब्रेथ फर्स्ट सर्च एक ही तरीके से बिहेव करेंगे अगर हम किसी ऐसी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करें जिसमें स्टेप कॉस्ट इक्वल हो जाए, क्योंकि इसकी भी जब स्टेप कॉस्ट इक्वल हो जाएगी तो फिर तो आप किसी भी चाइल्ड स्टेट को आप पहले सर्च कर सकते हैं। सो और ब्रेथ फर्स्ट में यही था। तो ब्रेथ फर्स्ट एंड यूनिफॉर्म कॉस्ट सर्च will behave in the same manner if we apply these algorithms onto a problem where we have the equal step cost or the step cost is uniform. Generally, the uniform cost search is give you is complete. Generally, it is complete. Yes, it means that it always give you a solution if solution is there. हमेशा आपको सोल्यूशन देगी जब सोल्यूशन वहां एग्जिस्ट करता होगा। जो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है इसके अंदर जो नंबर ऑफ नोड्स हम जनरेट करेंगे वो नोड्स ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल होती हैं, सेम होंगी जैसे नंबर ऑफ नोड्स हमने वहां पर जनरेट किए हैं। किसमें? हमने ब्रेथ फर्स्ट सर्च में। इससे कंफ्यूज मत होइएगा, ये पाथ कॉस्ट से रिलेटेड है, ये फंक्शन ओ है या सी स्टैटिक है। There's no need to confuse about it because this is the mathematical calculation, but for your sake, always remember that is somehow same as breadth first search, same as time. तो जो भी time complexity है वही इसकी space complexity है, and it is also optimal. ये optimal भी है. It means whatever the solution we will get out of it, that solution is least cost solution. अच्छा, when I say an algorithm generally gives you an optimal solution, तो इसका मतलब होता है आम तौर से तो ये ऑप्टिमल सोल्यूशन देता है, लेकिन ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है ना किसी स्पेसिफिक प्रॉब्लम में जो है वो ऑप्टिमल सोल्यूशन आपको ना भी दे, तो हो सकता है हम एक स्पेसिफिक प्रॉब्लम पे भी एल्गोरिथम को अप्लाई करके देखते हैं और एक जनरली भी हम ऑब्जर्व करते हैं कि जो एल्गोरिथम है उसका प्रिंसिपल क्या है। देन द नेक्स्ट वन इज कॉल्ड द डेप्थ फर्स्ट सर्च स्ट्रेटेजी। द डेप्थ फर्स्ट स्ट्रेटेजी इज एक्सपेंड द डीपेस्ट। उसमें क्या था ब्रेथ फर्स्ट में? ब्रेथ फर्स्ट में क्या था? हसन, यू वांट टू से समथिंग?
यस सर।
जी हसन बोले।
सर ये पूछना था सर, ये जो चीपेस्ट का मतलब ये वो लेस डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम इनिशियल नोड या करंट नोड?
नहीं करंट नोड नहीं, जहां से वो आ रहा है उसकी जो पाथ कॉस्ट निकालेंगे वहां से जहां उसकी पाथ कॉस्ट कम बन रही है।
अच्छा ओके,
ठीक है,
थैंक यू सर।
अच्छा, डेप्थ फर्स्ट सर्च में वी हैव टू एक्सपेंड द डीपेस्ट अनएक्सपेंडेड। देखें, याद रखें, ब्रेथ फर्स्ट में क्या था? शैलोएस्ट अनएक्सपेंडेड। इसमें क्या है? डीपेस्ट अनएक्सपेंडेड। वहां क्या था? फीफो क्यू। यहाँ पे क्या है? लीफो क्यू। जो सबसे आखिर में है, सबसे पहले हम उस तक पहुंचेंगे। तो हम ए से प्रोसीड करेंगे, ए से बी और सी, बी से फिर डी और ई, डी से एच और आई, और सबसे पहले फिर हम एच को एक्सप्लोर करेंगे। तो इससे फायदा क्या हो रहा है कि एक पूरा पाथ हमने कंप्लीट कर लिया। ये देखिए, हमने पूरा पाथ कंप्लीट कर लिया। नजर आ रहा है आपको? ये पूरा पाथ हम तो इसमें एडवांटेज क्या है? इसमें एडवांटेज ये है कि जैसे जैसे हम ये वाला पाथ कंप्लीट कर लेंगे, इसका मतलब है इन नोड्स को अब मेमोरी में रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज दोज ऑल नोड्स हैव बीन एक्सप्लोर्ड। ये इसमें फायदा है, डेप्थ फर्स्ट सर्च में एडवांटेज है, ये इसके प्रॉस है। लेकिन इसका कॉन्स क्या है, कॉन्सिक्वेंस क्या है, प्रॉब्लम क्या है डेप्थ फर्स्ट सर्च में? कि हमें डेप्थ का पता नहीं है कि हम कितनी डेप्थ में जाएंगे। तो ये अभी हमने दो वेरिएबल्स देखे थे ना जब हम बात कर रहे थे, ब्रांचिंग फैक्टर और डेप्थ। याद है, हमने दो देखे थे। एक तीसरा भी है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एम। एम इज मैक्सिमम डेप्थ। कहां तक जाएंगे मैक्सिमम डेप्थ? इट कैन बी इनफाइनाइट। ये इनफाइनाइट भी हो सकता है। तो अब हमें पता नहीं है डेप्थ फर्स्ट सर्च में कि हम कितनी डेप्थ में जाएंगे। तो मुझे नहीं पता कि मेरी डेप्थ कितनी। तो इसमें डिसएडवांटेज ये होता है कि हम इनिशियली डेप्थ में चले जाते हैं, और अगर इनफाइनाइट लूप में फंस गए या डेप्थ इनफाइनाइट अगर है मेरे पास, तो फिर मैं चलता चला जाऊंगा, हो सकता है मैं स्टक कर जाऊं। तो ये इसमें एक प्रॉब्लम भी है, डेप्थ को कंट्रोल करना। और हो सकता है सोल्यूशन यहाँ पर पड़ा हुआ हो, लेकिन मैं यहाँ डेप्थ पे इनफाइनाइट डेप्थ में चला गया, मुझे सोल्यूशन नहीं मिला। इसीलिए जनरली इट इज नॉट कंप्लीट। तो इसलिए हम कहते हैं जो डेप्थ फर्स्ट सर्च है, इट जनरली वो कंप्लीट नहीं है, बिकॉज इट फेल्स इन इनफाइनाइट डेप्थ spaces It also fails in the finite space with loops. For example, we have discussed that when we converted tree from the graph, you have seen the repeating number of nodes. So if अगर हम tree में repeating number of nodes आ रही हैं तो tree कभी खत्म ही नहीं होगा, चलता ही रहेगा. तो हो सकता है आप depth में जो है ना वो वापस ही नहीं आए और यहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम आ सकती है. That is why it is not generally complete. Time complexity में हम मैक्सिमम डेप्थ तक जा सकते हैं. तो मैक्सिमम डेप्थ तक जा सकते हैं तो इसमें O B raised to the power m हो जाएगा instead of D, because m is larger than D. लेकिन जो इसकी स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है वो कम हो जाएगी, वो B multiply by m है, which is a linear space. Why? Because all those paths जो हमने कवर कर लिए हैं वो पाथ अब इसमें शामिल नहीं होंगे. अच्छा, एक क्वेश्चन आया है मेरे पास, अजीम कह रहे हैं कि इनफाइनाइट कैसे होगी. अभी मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दी थी इनफाइनाइट जिसमें आपको रिपीटिंग लूप्स आ रहे थे. आप चलाएं जरा एल्गोरिथम रिपीटिंग लूप्स के साथ, तो आप देखेंगे हो सकता है आपको सोल्यूशन मिले ही नहीं और आप मूव ही करते रहेंगे. तो ये ऐसा भी होता है. और दूसरा ये होता है कि बार दफा स्टेट स्पेस बहुत ह्यूज है. मिसाल के तौर पे आप चेस का प्रॉब्लम ले लो, स्टेट स्पेस बहुत बड़ा है, तो अब आपने डेप्थ फर्स्ट लगा दिया तो डेप्थ फर्स्ट चलेगा ही नहीं, वहां पे वो फेल हो जाएगा, वो उसके लिए बना ही नहीं है. ठीक है, वी हैव टू कम आउट विद अदर एल्गोरिथम्स एज वेल. तो इनफाइनाइट का मतलब बिल्कुल इनफाइनाइट पॉसिबल है, हो सकता है. स्पेस इज b मल्टीप्लाई बाय m, बट व्हेनेवर वी से इनफाइनाइट इट मींस मैक्सिमम इनफाइनाइट हो सकता है, जरूरी नहीं हर दफा इनफाइनाइट ही होगा. हसन कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
यस सर. सर ये जो डेप्थ फर्स्ट अप्रोच है सर, ये डेप्थ फर्स्ट सर्च है,
हाँ.
ये हमारे पास लीफो यूज करता है, तो ये तो स्टेक होना, ये स्टेक यूज करेगा या क्यों?
क्यों हम लीफो यूज कर रहे हैं ना, तो लीफो में क्या होता है?
सर लीफो स्टेक को फॉलो करता है ना.
हाँ, स्टैक
लीफो
को फॉलो करता है. सही है, सही है. अगर आप उस तरीके से डेटा स्ट्रक्चर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से समझना चाह रहे हैं तो सही है.
यस
ठीक
सर.
है, ठीक है, ठीक है. अच्छा, यहाँ पर मैं अपने लेक्चर को क्लोज कर रहा हूँ, हमारा टाइम भी खत्म हो गया. और इंशाल्लाह फिर जब भी नेक्स्ट लेक्चर प्लान होगा मैं आपको बता दूंगा सीआर्ट्स को. और मुझे एक्सेल की शीट भेज देना जरूर जल्दी, ताकि मैं आपका वो LMS पे क्रिएट कर दूं, वहाँ लिंक वगैरह डाल दूंगा. ठीक है, ओके, टेक केयर, अल्लाह हाफिज.
ठीक है सर.